Hello everyone. In this session we are going to discuss what is character set, what is token, keyword, identifier, etc. Okay. Now student, whenever you are going to learn any language, what you will learn first? For example, when you are going to learn the English language, then what you learn first? That is the alphabet. Then by joining the alphabet you are able to forming the word. Then arranging or in the sequence order you are arranging the word what you have done to make a sentence. Again by a certain grammatical rule and regulation you able to form the sentence and paragraph. Okay. So this is the step by step procedures. First learning the alphabet, then you making the word, then you arranging the word to form a sentence, then you learn the grammar to make a paragraph. So all this is the step by step procedure through which you can learn the what? The language. Now we are going to learn what? The Java language. Okay. So what are the steps we should follow, or what are the steps we have to learn, or what are the things we have to learn to know the programming language and the Java programming language? Then we can able to write the program. Okay. So one by one we are going to discuss. Okay. Now you understand what is the uses of the character. So look at we discuss the character set, and the character set is what actually it is. It is the define a list of character for a language that can recognize it. So each programming language having their own character set that defines a valid value for a character variable in that language. What actually it means? Whatever the character used by the programming language, that character varying a value, that language can recognize that value. Okay. Now see, Java also having a set of characters, and Java only recognize that character set only. Okay. And it use 16 bits Unicode character set to represent the character data. Okay, so first we must understand what is the meaning of Unicode. Okay, before understanding the Unicode, we must know that fundamentally computer only deals with the number. That means the computer understands the machine language. The program written in any programming language need to be converted to the machine form, that is the 0 and 1 form, and then only computer can understand and process it. Okay, that means it deals with the number which can be converted to the 0 and 1. And what it does, it stores the letters and other character, assigning a number for each one. That means a numeric value will be assigned for each and every character present on the keyboard. Okay. So what happened in the all over world, different languages are used, and to if everybody using the different numeric value for the character, then there is a confusion and conflict will be arises during between the programmer. Okay, so to resolve this problem, that Unicode is found. So Unicode is what actually it is. The full form of Unicode is Universal International Standard Character Encoding, which is capable of representing most of the world's written language. It is a global standard for the character encoding. Encoding means every character's numeric value will be given by this Unicode. Okay, and what is the capacity of Unicode? You see, the Unicode supports 65,536 unique characters. Okay, and one character it holds 2 bytes. Earlier you know the one character that is the 8 bits, but in Unicode format one character holds 2 bytes. That is total 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. So 2 byte is equivalent to 16 bits. For example, the character A having a code that is U plus 0041, B having the code U plus 0042. So this code has to be used by the computer and can understand what where 0041 means it is A, U plus 0042 means it is B. Okay, so like such a way the computer can understand and do the processing for the programmer. Okay. Now actually what happened, before Unicode there was a ASCII code. Okay, that is your American Standard Code Information Interchange. So what is ASCII code? ASCII code, the full form is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII code was used before Unicode. Okay, just like Unicode, it is also giving some certain numeric value to the each and every character. It is support 256 character. Okay, it is a subset of Unicode. Okay, but ASCII code has a limitation. It does not fulfill the whole world's demand. Okay, so due to that, Unicode is found. So Unicode used the first 256 character of ASCII. Okay, that is whatever the coding done by the ASCII, it is used by the Unicode for the first 256 character. You see what is the coding is, that just like you see the example, the alphabet A is having the 65. Okay, the alphabet B is the 66, that is the ASCII code. This 65 and 66 are converted by the binary conversion to the 0 and 1, and it is recognized by the computer. Okay, so what we see, the Unicode is character set contain most of the alphabet using today. Okay, all over the world, whatever language they are using, whatever the character they are using, for them the coding is available with the Unicode. Okay, and each Unicode character start with the /u. From the table you can see it started with the /u and followed by 4 hexadecimal number. Don't be confused with the hexadecimal number. In the higher classes you learn what is hexadecimal number. Okay. Now we have to discuss what is token. Okay. Just like various words arranged in a sequence form a sentence and which has a meaning. Same way Java statement also combination of what? Character, symbol, punctuator. Okay. This character, symbol, punctuator, these are various small units in the Java. They are known as token. Okay. And that have certain meaning to the compiler. So compiler can understand it and operate it. Okay. So this character, symbol, punctuator which has a meaning to the compiler or which is recognized by the compiler are known as token. Okay. And these tokens are divided into 5 major categories. Look at the diagram. This diagram consists of 5 tokens, that is a keyword, identifier, constant, literals, operator, punctuator, separator. All these are called as a tokens. Okay. So the smallest individual unit in a program that meaningful to the compiler is called a token. Okay. So from the example you can understand the token. Some tokens are mentioned here. From here you just look at here. Hello is the identifier. This is the class name. Okay. Public class, that is the keyword. Okay. The punctuator, that is the bracket, is given as a punctuator. Individually we will discuss what is keyword, what is identifier, punctuator, separator. All those things individually we have to discuss. Okay. So these are the known as a token, and this token will be understood by the compiler. So the compiler convert it to byte code, that is the Java byte code, intermediate code, and then it will be translated to the machine form by the interpreter and executed and give you the result. Okay. So token, we knew that is the divided into 5 category. One is the keyword, one is the identifier, one is the constant or literals, another is the operator, another is the punctuator and separator. Okay. So token is nothing but what? The smallest unit in the Java program. Okay. And the using this keyword, identifier, constant, operators, punctuator, separator, we have to write the Java program. Okay, Java program. Okay, so one by one we have to discuss what is keyword, what is identifier, what is constant literals, what is operator, what is punctuator and separator. Okay. Now look at the keyword. Okay, keyword is what? They are the predefined word. Means it is created or defined by somebody else, and each word having a special meaning in the programming language. Okay. they have some specific tasks they have to perform. They meant for some specific task. Okay, and this keyword cannot be used for any other purposes, just like for the identifier or punctuator on any for other purposes we cannot use this keyword. Okay, and the keyword are used in the lowercase. All these keywords should be used in the lowercase. You cannot write the keyword in the uppercase. Okay, the compiler works like a dictionary. We store all the meaning of this keyword. Okay, and while you are using the keyword in your program, compiler find this meaning from the dictionary and use for that purposes. Okay, if the compiler is not getting any meaning or not understood any keyword which is not present in his dictionary, then it will give you an error message. Just like suppose if I am writing a keyword, that is you see here, it is written double, double. You just find out in the list, double is the keyword is there. And if I am writing in the spelling mistake double, if I am writing double and u I missed, then that will be not understood by the compiler and it will give me the error message. Okay, just look at the definition. It is the reserved word that is have a specific meaning for the Java compiler. All are called as a keyword. Okay, so this keyword are reserved for the intent use and cannot be used by the programmer for any other purposes. Okay, just for like a give to the name to the class or object or variable or method, we cannot naming them. We cannot use keyword for naming class, object or variable or method. Okay, now you see the list of keyword is given here in the table. You can find out, and just like time to time when you start writing the program, you have to know what the use of this keyword, and automatically by practicing it you remember this keyword. Okay, now what is keyword? All of you know that is the reserved word. Okay, so just like a public, if, class, while, do, while, all these are the reserved word. Okay, so these are the keywords. They only they have a special meaning. They only for specific purposes, that is not used for any other purposes like naming a class or method or used as an identifier. Okay, when you start writing the program, you can able to know how to use this keyword in the program. Okay, now discuss the what is identifier. Identifier means which identifies something. Just like how we are identifying you by your name. So identifier is nothing but what? It is name given to the different part of the Java program. So identifier used to give the name to the different part, that is nothing but the class name, method name, variable name. Okay, they are defined by the Java programmer. Okay, so identifier follows certain rules. Okay, to give a name to the class or the method or the variable, we have to follow certain rules. The rules are that the identifier that we use in the program must be combination of or composed of any alphabet, digit, underscore and dollar sign. Okay, just like your example, you just see here total, it is total alphabet. Label 7, it is a combination of alphabet and digit. Uppercase, lowercase, all those things combination you can write. Underscore you write num underscore box. Okay, dollar amount you can write. Okay, identifiers, but fourth words and coin has value are not valid because it is coming fourth word that is started with a digit, so it cannot begin with a digit. Any other symbol than the underscore and dollar you cannot use, just hash you cannot use. Identifier may be any length. Okay, and the identifier Java is a case sensitive, so if you written any name in a lower case and in the program you are convert into uppercase, you written in the uppercase, it will be not similar. Okay, because the compiler will be confused. So you see small total and capital total both are not same, they are different from each other. Okay, so it is case sensitive. Next, you just see here certain example it is given, some valid name of the identifier and invalid name of the identifier. Okay. So the names are given to the different part of the Java program known as identifier, like the names of the variable, functions, class, object and arrays. That is the definition of the identifier. Okay. Now you understood what is identifier, the name given to the different parts of the Java program. Okay, and the rules and regulation you have to follow for naming the parts of the Java program you know now. Okay, I am giving more example here. Just like suppose you want to name a variable, the variable of a student name, the variable is a student name, so I can write it as a stnm. It is a combination of lowercase and uppercase alphabet. Okay, now another way also I can write it here, st_nm. Okay, so underscore is allowed, the special symbol you can allow. Okay, then I can write it as a number 1, so the digit I can add here, number 1, that also allowed. Okay, dollar amount I can write. Okay, this is the special symbol I have to use, but I cannot give a space between the two in a variable. Suppose if I am writing st space nm, this is wrong. Most of the students doing the same mistake. They are giving the space between the letter. Okay, between the letter or alphabet. Okay, so you cannot start 1 nm. That is wrong. That is wrong. The digit cannot be begin at the first position. Okay, now hyphen you cannot be used. st-nm you cannot use. This is wrong. Hyphen cannot be used. Okay, any other symbols, st-nm, that is the other symbol other than the dollar, you cannot use any other symbol. Okay, so when you are naming a class or method or variable or object, you should follow these rules and regulations. So take care of it and never you give a space between the letter. Okay, from this session you understood that the token having 5 categories, and from this 5 categories we discussed these two, that is keyword and identifier, and I hope you understood it. In the next session the rest, that operator, literal constant and punctuator separator we will discuss. Okay, we are in the beginning step. After knowing all the 5 categories, you can able to write a program in the Java. Okay, thank you.